So I think I'm gonna just start making videos more. Written word doesn't seem to get the point across, or the feeling. Excuse me, I'm having some lunch here. But anyway, I think this is what I'm gonna start doing. I'm reading this book. I've been doing a lot of trying to get back to what I enjoy. So I've been watching more movies. I've been trying to, with the limited time that I have, been trying to read more. If anybody knows me, they know how all about my fantasy books I am. But I'm starting to get into, again, more self-help books and that sort of thing, along with my therapy, just to help me, just to help me. Anyway, so now I'm reading this book called Quiet. It's The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. So here's it's inverted because I'm using the front camera. But anyway, this book was written in 2012. And it talks a lot of research about, in the early 2000s and that sort of thing. But I'm in this chapter right now of when collaboration kills creativity. And it's talking about how, so the whole book is basically about introverts in an extroverted world, and how everyone is expected to be an extrovert and to work well in groups and that sort of thing. That's what this chapter is about, is the group working. And so basically, it doesn't fucking work. It never has. It was a very, very small, limited... Excuse me, I'm having a soda. I never drink soda anymore, but it was a treat. Anyway, group work doesn't work. Putting people in groups, the big offices with the open space plans, crammed with people, doesn't work. The beginning of this chapter even has this... There's quite a few amazing quotes in this book. Beginning of this chapter has one from... Hold on. Okay. It's from Albert Einstein, and it says, "I am a horse for single harness, not cut out for tandem or teamwork. Full well do I know that in order to attain any definite goal, it is imperative that one person should do the thinking and commanding." Okay, so that's pretty... Okay. You gotta think about that for a minute. Let it digest, if you will. And then, a little bit into this chapter, so basically, scientists now know that the brain is incapable of paying attention to two things at the same time. What looks like multitasking is really switching back and forth between multiple tasks, which reduces productivity and increases mistakes by up to 50%. I've been trying to get in on my clutter removal, and I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff I've been holding on to for a very long time that has no purpose in my life anymore, that sort of thing. I just read another article saying that if you have, ADHD here, autistic, neurodivergent, all those lovely things, but because of that, I feel like I'm always cleaning my house, that sort of thing. Focus on one room at a time. And what you do is, if something needs to be put in another room, just put it in that other room and wait until you get there. You know what I mean? So if I'm working in the kitchen and I have something, my kitchen is connected to my living room, so it's all one spot. But, I have a bookshelf over here. Take something out of my kitchen, needs to go on the bookshelf, whatever. A better example would be, I'm taking a snack upstairs, or I'm filling up my water bottle, but I'm cleaning downstairs. So I'd fill up my water bottle, maybe I'd put it by the stairs. That way I'm not going up and down the stairs. I'm focusing on this. Back to this book that I'm reading. They're talking about this experiment in 2005 was an update to an experiment run in 1951 to 1956 of groupthink, and how people individually have been proven to have more creativity and freedom, that sort of thing, because of the fear of looking stupid in front of your peers, even though we're not all about that. It's about that in a corporate setting and that sort of thing, unfortunately. So this experiment was to see if, group of 40 people, whatever, were given this problem, solve it. There's a right and a wrong answer, so these people answered it correctly. But then the people running the experiment put in these actors, and they gave false answers. And this was the experiment, to see how many people bowled over, basically, to these false answers because they were unsure of themselves, that they didn't want to be wrong, that sort of thing. And a really high percentage of people bowled over, and they changed their answers, and a really high percentage of people in this group think were wrong. And so now in 2005, right, this the research was modified, and to this is what it says. The researcher wanted to know was whether people conformed despite knowing that the group was wrong, or whether their perceptions had been altered by the group. If the former was true, the researcher reasoned then they should see more brain activity in the decision-making prefrontal cortex. And what this is, they used fMRI machines to see the different variations of the brains as far as when they were working individually and when they were working with the group. And so now when the group workings, right? So if the group changed their minds, even though they knew they were wrong, they would see more activity in the prefrontal cortex, right? So that is, the brain scans would pick up the volunteers deciding consciously to abandon their own beliefs to fit in with the group. Okay? Peer pressure? Anybody? But if the brain scan showed heightened activity in regions associated with visual and spatial perception, this would suggest that the group had somehow managed to change the individual's perceptions. And so that was the experiment, right? Were they changing their minds on purpose, or was the group changing their mind? Turns out the group was changing the volunteers, the participants' minds. If this doesn't literally correlate with what's going on right now with the Olympics, with everything else, this group think, it's got to change, people. We got to start looking at facts. We got to stop being so fucking emotional about shit, right? I was told that my entire life. Suck it up. Don't be so emotional. Let's all take a lesson from that, okay? No, you're not being fucking attacked because you're a fucking Christian. That woman, that poor woman, has more testosterone in her system than a normal woman, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if I had more testosterone than a normal woman, only because of, let me be completely open with you guys right now, and vulnerable, but I have hair all over my body, on my nipples, on my chest, I have an unhappy trail. My sister would have loved to use that information, by the way, against me when we were younger, but I don't care anymore, because fuck you for trying to put me down. But anyway, this book is crazy. We got to stop the groupthink. We got to start thinking critically and really start researching the facts. And we got to stop being so fucking mean to each other. Okay? It's gross. It's gross. It's dumb. It's childish. And it shows how little depth you have if you get joy out of intentionally being mean to others. Comedians, that's a whole other can of worms. I'm not going to touch on that right now. What I wanted to bring up was this book that I'm reading of the groupthink and how crazy that I picked up this book. I haven't read it in like 6 months, right? And I started reading it last night and this chapter today. So if you don't believe the universe speaks to you or that there's something out there, here's your sign. Okay, bye.